What is good, y'all?
On most vacations, you take a trip.
Let me get my
But in
audio
Israel,
situated. Excuse me.
What
Let me get
is
my
good,
audio.
y'all?
on most
situated.
vacations, you take a trip. But in Israel,
Crazy. All right, cool. Let me get that audio situated. Excuse me, y'all. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in. Got some interesting topics to speak on tonight. Got an interesting topic to speak on tonight. Let me see. Let me get this to my co-host for tonight. Got a live debate for y'all. Got a live topic. We're going to talk about mixtapes tonight. We're going in tonight, you guys. Appreciate everybody that taps in. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this one time. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Got a couple different chronics, man. What's up? What's up, Lone Wolf? A couple different chronics on deck. Some interesting shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be smoking some interesting shit tonight on the show, but also we got to focus on this debate. Very, very hype on what we're going to be talking about tonight. You know, it's about mixtapes. You know, it's about the 3 biggest clicks to come out of New York. Tonight, we are going to have a debate. Tonight, we are going to have a debate. Salute to West Philly. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Tonight, we're going to have a debate. We all know what mixtapes are. So Styles P said it was because of technology. The kids didn't know about Roc-A-Fella beef, G-Unit beef, mixtape locks. How we get every number 1, number 2. We invented mixtapes. We invented East Coast. We invented the East Coast culture. Excuse me. Appreciate everybody tapping. We invented New Day East Coast culture. Yep. And you know, I want anybody in here because I started asking myself, really? Does the youth out there really not know about the G-Unit beef? Do they really not know about the Roc-A-Fella beef from back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Do they not know about the notorious Jadakiss back and forth with Beanie Sigel? Do they not know about Sheik Luch going at 50 Cent like crazy? You know what I mean? Did they really not know about all this shit? But I want you, I challenge you, you know, go walk up to today's youth. The same people that think Bobby Shmurda and Soulja Boy is the shit. You know, ask them, did you know that Styles P, you know what I mean? Do you know the Styles P and Beanie Sigel beef where Styles P said you can SMD with the shit on it, Mac, put a lid on it. I'll kill your whole effing fam. You can put your kids on it. Did you know that? Soulja Boy fans? Huh? Did the Soulja Boy fans out there know about the realism when we're seeing it? Now we're seeing it drawn up in these headlines. That's why Styles P said that. You don't know that. You just know the I get high, 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 high. You just know I get high. You know the surface of Styles P. You don't know the ghost in the machine. You don't know the ghost in the phantom, the ghost that sat by the door, the ghost in the shell. Does any of that sound familiar to you? No, of course it doesn't, because you just know I get high, 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 high. That's all you know. You just know the surface. You don't know the streets. You just know what you heard on the radio. You didn't buy any of the mixtapes, did you? Why? Why? Because you were too broke to buy a mixtape? Listen to what I just said. It's a trick question, y'all. You don't have to buy it. It's for the streets. Anything free is a good thing. When you give out free music, What's your excuse for not listening to it? It's free. You can't say I can't afford it. You know what I mean? That's why he did it. He did it for the underprivileged people that don't have the $12.99. Ask NBA YoungBoy fans, y'all. Ask NBA YoungBoy fans and today's youth. Do they know about the G Unit beef? They don't know about that. They don't know that Styles P. They don't know that Sheek Luch. They had a whole entire album dissing 50 Cent. They don't know that, did you? I'm asking. Sheek Luch, a member of D Block, had a whole album dissing 50 Cent. Nah, you probably didn't know that, but I did. I was bumping that. It's okay. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? It's all right that you didn't know that, but that is exactly Styles P point. You're not a diehard D Block fan. You just know the mighty, mighty D Block. You know the Eminem song. You know what I mean? Which is the difference. You know what I mean? And Styles P can tell the difference between a hardcore fan and a fan that only knows if you think I'm jiggy and money and power and respect. That's what he's talking about. Where is his credit for all that free music? Where's his credit for all that free music he gave you that was all fire? The guy has a point. It's not like he has a whack mixtape. Name one. Name one. I'll wait. Name one whack mixtape from Styles P. You're going to have to think hard for this one. I mean, was the album where Sheek Luch dissed the shit out of 50 Cent whack? Go on YouTube and search Maybe If I Sing. Sheek Luch. Was that whack? Right. Exactly. Styles P said, we was outside before y'all was talking about being outside. Before that was even a thought of being a slang term. We invented no security. First and foremost, do you know who invented the term we outside? I'm asking y'all. I'm asking y'all in the chat, who invented the term we outside? You see. I'm about to put a poll up for y'all as well. About to put a poll up. Who invented the mixtapes is going to be the poll, you guys, just so everyone knows. About to put a poll up. Yes, exactly, bro. No Lox mixtape was ever whack. So I'm asking y'all, do you know who invented the term we outside? You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you who. The Big Ape. Who's the Big Ape? Can somebody tell me who the Big Ape is? Hold up. I'll wait. Actually, I won't wait. We got to get into shit tonight. You know what I mean? Free Casanova 2 times. Free that man. And yes, 100%. And do me a favor. Everyone's screaming, we outside. You're jacking his lingo. Whether you know it or you don't, you're jacking his lingo. So let's be clear. Tilt your hat to Casanova, a real one. Free the Big Ape. That wasn't, you know what I mean? That wasn't in no shape or form Styles P taking a shot at Casanova. But he's saying all y'all youngins running around saying it, all y'all youngins running around saying it don't even know that we had a damn project called No Security. So before Cass was even saying we outside, they were screaming no security. They had an album called No Security. No, you don't want to take my word for it? Look up the discography. The name of the album was No Security. Every time you saw them, there wasn't a bouncer, there wasn't an off duty cop. They're not paying them because they don't need them, you guys. They're not paying them because they don't need them. I'm posting up a poll for everyone right now, though. Posting up a poll for y'all. Let me get this poll started. Hit that like button. Make sure you share this video one time. There we go. Okay, we Gucci. We Gucci. We got the poll going. I'm about to be joined by my special co-host as well. My boy's about to come and join us because we're having a debate tonight, man. Styles P set it off. Much love to Styles P. I actually met Styles P. But more than that, I'm in tune with what Styles P does. You know what I mean? So let me get into this. So they're not paying people. They're not paying people for protection like that because they don't need that. They got Bully. They got Snipe Life. They got AP. No, not Audemars Peugeot. It stands for, AP stands for about paper. Anyway, my point is, moral of the story, that there was no security. They don't need no damn security. They're loved and beloved in the streets. Nobody is going to run up on D Block. It's just not going to happen. They hold weight in the streets, y'all. Do you notice any similarities, you guys? Do you guys notice any similarities between groups like D Block, Dipset, G Unit? Put it in the chats. You know what I mean? What you notice as the differences, what you notice as the similarities. Styles P said, we invented giving y'all mixtapes. There is no mixtape game without us. Have they ever given us that credit? No. Have we even asked for it? We're here today. Who invented it? We did. Is it a debate? Well, actually, it is a debate. It is a debate. Because I just turned it into one. Why? Because I felt like it. It's a good conversation to have. It's a good topic to have. And I want to talk about this. If you haven't voted in the poll, vote in the poll right now. Who invented mixtapes? Take a vote, and you have 3 different options. And like I said, if you have any other opinions, put it in the chat, put it in the comment section. You have 3 different options right now in the poll. You have G Unit, you have the Lox, you have G Unit, you have the Lox, D Block, and you have Dipset. I want to know what everyone has to think. We all have our own opinions. You know what I mean? And this is a platform where you can share your opinions. Now, some would argue, and Math Hoffa was about to argue, and you can just tell that my guy Math was about to bring up G Unit. Styles P didn't allow him to, though, because Math was like, but wait. Styles P didn't really let him go there. You know what I mean? He didn't really let him go there. At one point, Styles P stood up. He was joking around, but he was being dead serious. You know what I mean? Because he knew what Math was about to do. Wait for what? Wait for what? Wait for you to say G Unit? Wait for you to say Dipset? Because those are legitimate the only other 2 groups that really could say, you know what I mean? If you were going to say it's any other 2, those are legitimate the only other 2 groups you could say, you know what I mean? When you went to Diallo on Canal Street and you only had $5, you know what I'm saying? That Diallo, And that's with 2 L's for those of y'all who know and you don't know. If you only had $5 and you had to choose, you don't have 15. You know, and I know you wanted all three of them, but you couldn't get all three of them because Diallo isn't doing any deals. But what is there to choose from? What's on the table? What do you mean? D Block, Dipset, G Unit. That's what's on the table. I don't have anything else. This is what's flooding the actual street. You see what's on the blanket. The blanket is on the curb. It's on the concrete. It's literally on the street. This is what's on the street. G Unit, Dipset, and D Block. Now, if you step too far to the left, you're actually going to step on it and break it. It wasn't even on tables, it was on blankets. It's literally on the street. Those are your three choices. Which one are you getting? I'm asking everybody in the chat. You have $5. You're going to see my guy Diallo. Which one are you getting? You getting the Dipset mixtape, the D Block mixtape, or the G Unit mixtape? So no disrespect to Styles P, but it is debatable because everyone has their own preference. I might be tired of the hardcore shit this week. You know what I'm saying? I might want something a little more oh boyish, something a little more hey mish this week. I might be tired of that. I might want some Queens vibes. You know what I'm saying? Tonight I might want some Queens vibes. How about if I want some Queens shit? You know what I mean? I might want that new Lloyd Banks. Nah, not the hunger for more Lloyd Banks. I'm talking about when Lloyd Banks was on fire. I'm talking about when Lloyd Banks was fire. I'm talking about victory freestyle Lloyd Banks. I'm talking about that era Lloyd Banks. I'm talking about when Cut Master C was the shit. Oh, who's that, Mikey T? Right, exactly. You don't know. I don't expect you to. It's okay. But you know who DJ Clue is, right? Exactly. Do you remember a guy named Big Mike? If you don't know, then you wasn't buying mixtapes. I'm sorry, you wasn't on the mixtape game like that. Remember a dude named Cool Kid? Cool with a K. No, not Who Kid. I said Cool Kid. You don't know him? This is exactly what Styles P was talking about. The newer generation doesn't know this stuff, and it's okay. It's okay that you don't, you know what I mean? Which is the same reason that Styles P actually said 21 Savage doesn't know Nas has Ether. And Styles P said, I like 21 Savage, but Drake should have told him, you're out of pocket. Y'all youngins have to learn to respect the OGs. Otherwise, you're going to end up playing yourself like 21 Savage did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm asking y'all in the chat right now, if you guys had $5, who are you going to cop? Dipset, G Unit, or D Block? And make sure you vote in the poll right now and let me know. Let me know in the poll who you think actually has invented the mixtape game. Who are you riding with? Hit that like button, share this video, man. Styles P said, who invented a lane for these dudes? He did a great interview. This is one of Styles P's best. Salute to my brother, Math Hoffa. You know what I'm saying? Who invented a lane for these dudes to get millions of dollars? Layups. Who did that off mixtapes? And you know why we did it? Do you remember? We was banned. We was blackballed. Said it. Let the Lox go. We did stupid shit. You know how we stood alive? We rhymed. Yeah. The Lox did do stupid shit, like go on the radio and diss Diddy every chance that they could get. Some shit that I don't even really want to repeat that they actually did. I mean, even all that SMD shit, you know what I mean? We hear what Fat Joe said when he did an interview with DJ Vlad, what could happen, you know what I mean? That whole SMD shit is serious. You know what I mean? But yo, back in the day when some of these beefs were going on, now the G Unit beef with the Lox was in the mid early 2000s. You know what I mean? It was a little bit later. Dudes obviously knew they were rich or going to be rich forever. They knew they were going to be making music regardless, you know. But at a certain point, when Jada and Beanie Sigel were beefing, it was a little bit different. You know what I mean? It was a little bit like, will one of you exist after this? Will one of you guys be exterminated? You know what I mean? That's how people kind of looked at rap beef back in the day. The Lox, they did some stupid shit. You know what I mean? We hear all the different shit. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff, I'm going to be honest with you, man, I don't really want to even respond. But I'll be honest with you, man. But in a lot of it, of course, y'all don't remember it. You know, it's Style Peace Point. You know, it's Peace Point. Glorilla fans and Sweetie fans, they don't remember this shit that happened back. Cardi B fans, they don't remember. Fabio foreign fans, they don't remember. You know, the reason D Block dropped so many mixtapes, it's because they were being held hostage. It was like, I don't want to do no more shiny suit music. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do any more if you think I'm jiggy. Let's have the whole hood wearing "Let the Lox Go" t-shirts. Now he's gonna feel like a dumbass. Now Diddy is gonna start feeling like a dumbass. Oh, we can't release any more music because we're under contract. Shout out Al Pizzle. Appreciate you in the chat tonight, bro. You know, we can't release any more music because we're under contract. Well, we found a workaround. We're going to give people the music for free in the form of mixtapes. Therefore, you don't get $1 off of us, Diddy. We're giving it away for free because we don't want to release no more soft shit, to be blunt. We want to release what we really want to do. And we're going to give it out to our fans for free. And you can't sue us. And F your contract, basically. And everywhere you go, you're going to run into somebody that's going to say, damn, Diddy, let the Lox go. And you're going to feel like a dumbass because their music is flooded all over the streets anyways. And you're just holding them back. So everywhere you go, you're going to hear someone say, let the Lox go. You're going to get tired of that, which eventually he did. Eventually he got tired of it. Somebody fill in this bar for me. Jadakiss once said, when you see me, don't ask nothing about us. And definitely don't ask nothing about. Fill it in, y'all. Jadakiss once said a lyric. What song was this? Tell me, somebody in the chat. When you see me, don't ask about us. And definitely don't ask me nothing about. Fill in the blank. It rhymes with Duff. It was blanked out on the album, but we all know it was, it was all censored. It was edited on the album, but we all know the blank was Puff, as in Puff Daddy. But anyways, Styles P said they never gave us our credit. Who was wearing white tees? Who was wearing white tees before us? Who? Who invented the white tees in hip hop? Styles P said the fellas, the boys. What event are we showing up? F security. Now, on this, as we talk about the white tees, we're going to talk about the white tees. Let's talk about the white tees. Everyone is going to have their own opinion about this. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is going to have their own opinion about this. Respectfully, Styles P, I'm going to have to give this to Cash Money. You know what I mean? We all know Cash Money started it first. You know, they had the white tees down to their kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? Now, just because dudes on the East Coast weren't aware that Cash Money was doing that, you know, maybe he wanted to say maybe Styles P wanted to say that we were the first on the East Coast doing that. You know, that's what I honestly think that he was trying to say. You know what I mean? Maybe he wanted to say that we were the first on the East Coast doing that. But he could have been more clear. But I'm going to say Cash Money. And you guys, I'm going to be posting a poll about this. I'm about to be joined by my co-host. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you share this video one time. I'm looking at the poll right now. Who invented mixtapes? Everybody vote in the poll right now. 55% of the people are voting and rocking with Styles P. That is lit. 60 vote in the poll right now if you're just tapping in. I'm about to be joined by my special co-host. I want your opinion. But, you know, I did an interview with Hot Boy Turk. Y'all know. And I might have to have Hot Boy Turk back on the channel to discuss this. You know what I mean? Going further, more in depth about this. You know what I'm saying? But I just found it funny, you know what I mean, that he wanted credit for the white tea wave. You know, I get it. In NYC, you had the dude who was selling the socks and the white tea. You know what I mean? They were selling them in 3-packs, you know, in the clear plastics where you could get the socks and the white tees literally from the same dude. You know what I mean? That was an East Coast thing. Yonkers, Harlem, the Bronx. But Styles P, I think he's gonna have to actually give this one. I think he's actually gonna have to give this one to Cash Money, the New Orleans dudes. You know, just because New Yorkers didn't really pay attention, that's kind of what I'm gonna chalk it up to, you guys. New Yorkers not paying attention, people from the East Coast not paying attention because you know we were kind of focused on tri-state shit. You know what I mean? Before we blew up to the world, we were trying to blow up in our own part of the country, you know what I mean, to get credit out in other places, middle America, and then down to Cali and over and down, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but Styles, he's gonna have to give this one to Cash Money. And I'm gonna put up a poll in just a second. I'm gonna put up a poll in just a second for y'all. You know what I mean? But I think Styles is gonna have to give this one to Cash Money. What do y'all think in the chat? Some people from New York didn't know they were doing it. You know what I mean? I did because I was watching all kinds of music. You know what I mean? Just because New Yorkers or Connecticut or Jersey didn't know about it does not mean that they weren't doing it. You know what I mean? But they feel like we started it because we didn't see them doing it. And you know what I'm saying? And like I said before, just sometimes people on the East Coast would just be so caught up in what they're doing. You know what I mean? A lot of people look at New York as the mecca of hip hop. You know what I mean? Some people look at it as Cali. I was down in Miami, and let me tell you, I was in Miami at the best point in time of hip hop. And I really felt like Miami was the mecca of hip hop, to be real with you guys. But there's been different meccas at different times. You know, ATL had its time. I went out and did a bunch of different interviews in ATL, and it was crazy. You know, I'm about to be joined by my co-host. I want everybody to vote in the poll right now. He's actually joining me right now. Just give me the thumbs up, bro, when you're ready to go. I see you rocking over there, getting everything situated. I'm about to be joined by the hood blogger. You know what I'm saying? The dopest blogger out of Philly. It's my bro right here. Let me know when you're ready, Twizz. Everything good to go, bro?
Mikey T, my brother. Salute, bro. What's good, Mikey? Can you hear
Brother,
me? Can you hear me,
Twizz.
sir?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly fine, bro.
Okay. Salute, Mikey.
So, bro, man, Styles P had some very interesting things to say on Math Hoffa's My Expert Opinion show, Twizz.
Facts, bro. Facts. I'm definitely tuned in.
He had said it was because of technology. He said the kids didn't know about the Roc-A-Fella beef and the G Unit beef and the mixtape Lox. He said, we invented mixtapes. We invented the East Coast culture. We invented New Day East Coast culture. What was your take on that, Twizz? I mean, how do you feel about the general public's knowledge of mixtape Lox or the general public's knowledge of the Roc-A-Fella beef or the G Unit beef?
Um, Styles absolutely right about everything, bro. Let's talk about East Coast hip hop, period, bro. Like, we can talk about the 90s. Who was running the show, bro? It was East Coast and West Coast. West Coast, you had Pop, which originally we know is an East Coast guy, but he rep West Coast heavy. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Pop held it down crazy for the West Coast. And salute to the chat too, but before I continue, but we just gonna carry it properly. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it as that. It was Pop Death Row, and then it was Biggie Bad Boy. You know what I'm talking about? So of course Pac was lit before Big came out. But once Big came out, bro, Big changed the game. You know what I'm talking about? Like Big with Bad Boy, everything changed once Biggie came out. These was the two people, the two groups that everybody was tuned into and focused on. So when we mention Big, the Locks come under that umbrella. Murder Mace come under that umbrella. These guys was all smoking stuff with Biggie. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody damn near when we talk about Biggie and we talk about Locks and we talk about Mace, bro, they were dangerous lyricists, bro. They was with all them on the track. We talking about that was the dream team right there. Pac had a lot of other things besides rap that made him as great as he was. You know what I'm talking about? So you damn right the Locks did that because that's all the Locks carry our generation. The younger guys, do they care about him? No, bro. Like the younger guys tuned in to Kiss when in the Locks around the time like the verses because that was at a time when people was paying attention to the verses and they give people their flowers, but for some reason the younger guys these days they don't pay homage to those that come before them. It was a song Pac had, and Pac had a song, and it was dedicated to the guys that was before him. And that's what we lack today. It's the same way in the hoods, bro. Like, it's much different nowadays. So Styles absolutely right on everything he said.
That was a great breakdown, Twizz. I really love how you brought that all the way back. Um, so I had said earlier, I was like, if you go walk up to today's youth, Twizz, and you say, the same people out there that think Bobby Shmurda's the shit, Soldier Boy's the shit, like, did you know Styles P told Beanie Sigel you can SMD with the shit on it? Mac put a lid on it.
Mhm.
I'll kill your whole effing family and you can put your kids on it.
Yeah. And when
I want to ask you, man, how did Philly feel when Styles P told Beanie Sigel that, man?
we
You know
loved it.
the style
We
I'm talking
we
about.
we loved it. At that day and time, as impactful as state property was for the city, we always rolled the red carpet out for the Locks, bro. Always. The Locks was always even let's take it a step back before this beef, rat beef as we call it, because it was never really no issue with beans or state property with the Locks. Jay-Z sick them on them. You know what I'm talking about? Jay-Z sick state property on them. So state property did what they was supposed to do, with the exception of Oskino, because Oskino he was friends with the Locks before that even happened, before the state prop and Roc-A-Fella deal. That's why we never heard Oskino say nothing about the Locks. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Petey was signed to them at that time. Petey might have been locked up, but we never heard Petey say nothing about him either. So definitely, at the end of the day, it's like the youth definitely they not going to acknowledge, none of that. And I lost my train of thought. I forgot what the last one we with the last my fault. I got the hen rock in my system right now.
Bro. No,
Salute.
basically, I was just asking you, how did Philly feel when Styles P told Beanie Siegel
Oh
that in the
yeah,
disco? And you were saying they loved it.
we
And
loved it. We
and
loved it.
yep.
Style, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Styles and Kiss could have walked through any block out Philly at that time, and Chic or Hood, nobody would have did nothing to them. We loved them. You know what I mean? We loved them all always. And to be to be truthfully, to keep it a stack, a lot of people from Philly was rocking with the Lox, bro. As lit as State Property was and as impactful as they was for the city, a lot of people was rooting for the Lox, bro. Like, but it was never no type of, hard feelings or nothing like that. Yeah, I mean, they always for some reason it's just something about the Lox. They just different. And when they rap, it's like they talk to us. Just like State Property, of course, talked to us, and they was from the city, but we never looked at it crazy. You know what I mean?
Twizz, I want to ask you, man, when Jadakiss came to Philly to perform and he thought it was sweet and he said something slick about Beanie Siegel and the stage on stage and they threw bottles, tomatoes,
That
Philly cheesesteaks, they threw anything they could at Jada at that time. Why do you think Jada thought that they wouldn't react that way? Like, why do you think Jada thought
I
the crowd would rock with him over Beanie?
I don't think that he thought that the crowd would rock with him over Beans, but I think that he just like the Lox always had a reputation of being certified street guys and carrying it, how they carry it. I think that what he did, it took a lot of heart. I don't think that he thought that he would have a good reaction from the crowd because he also spoke on it. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, but he was young at that time. He was younger. That's how he felt. It was so legendary. But even with the bottles and the things getting thrown at Kiss, that was a sign of love because Kiss left out of that venue, you know, without a scratch on them. You know what I'm talking about? That's all it would have led to. More so the reason the bottles and stuff get thrown, it just was holding it down because Mac's still the Broad Street bully. We ain't going to trip. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, come on, Kiss. You're not going to do it to our face right now. You know what I'm talking about? So we love you, but we can't, you know what I mean? It would have looked crazy for the Philly crowd to pretty much root it on as much as we really loved it deep down inside because regardless of what happened in Powerhouse that night, bro, that freestyle, that Kiss spit, that acapella John, bro, you heard it all through the streets of Philly, bro. People was playing that joint, bro. People were really like that was like we played it like it was a song off the blueprint. You know what I mean? So I don't think that he felt as though he would get love over Sieg. He just had that, I don't care moments. You know what I mean? Which I took my hat to him for doing that. Cause to this day I never saw nothing like that where a person is coming to somebody city while they're in the middle of, going through that type of beef and that joint happened like that.
Yeah. I want to ask you, man, do you see any similarities between D Block and State Property? If so, what are they? Like in the way that they moved and carried themselves, you know what I mean? In the way that they were respected amongst the community.
That's exactly what they have in common. It's that like, all right, so let's just say Jada Kiss, for instance. Jada Kiss or Styles is more comfortable. The Lox period, I can't just, give them that too. Even Hood back then, any of them guys would have been more comfortable on any block out Philly than people
Salute
from
Jay
Philly.
Hood.
Yeah,
Salute
any
salute the
it
bro Jay Hood. He's got a new YouTube channel as well. Not to cut
facts.
you off, Twizz.
It's all good. Salute the Hood, but the Lox is was more. they could be more comfortable coming on any block out Philly more than somebody from Philly. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could be from a certain part of Philly and you might have your homie might be going through it with this guy. You know what? It's just you could be going through it with a certain hood or a certain block just on the strength of who you around, you know what I'm saying, or who you deal with. But as far as like the Locks, they could have came any block out Philly. They would have got the same love. They didn't been all through Philly plenty of times, even during that beef. But it was the same thing with State Prop. They love them out in New York. They love them when they go to these places like Sieg and all of them. They had the red carpet rolled out for them also. Philly and New York, they like I like to say they like first cousins. You know what I mean? It's like it's always was love for each other, but we always competed with each other also. So I can't really speak on what might have happened if they might have been in a certain predicament out in New York as far as state property. But I know for a fact the Locks was good anywhere out Philly during that whole time of beef before or after.
And Twizz, a problem is, that's why Styles P is saying this. He's like, you don't know a lot of style. You don't know the Styles P music. You just know the shit on the surface. I get
Yeah,
high, high, high,
fact,
high, high. You know what I mean? I
fact,
get high. You just know the surface of Styles P.
facts, you
You don't know the ghost in the machine,
facts,
the ghost in the phantom, the
facts,
ghost that sat by the door, the ghost in the shell. Does any of that music sound familiar to you?
facts. That's what I came up to, like as far as if you ain't hear that Mario at the beginning of the track, that joint just hit different. When it come to like I Get High and all of them type of songs, or the joint he got with My Life, what's that, Pharaoh Monch? These were like the mainstream songs, or even like Kiss. Um,
By Your
you know, uh
Side,
yeah,
Mariah Carey joint,
yeah, the joint that
Eminem
he had,
joint,
or
Mega
yeah, like
Mike D Block.
yeah, like all them joints you seen on 106 in Park, they was all cool. We was happy to see them there, but the streets we listened to the mixtapes, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You driving 2, 3 in the morning while you in the mix doing what you did out there, and you listening to the Ghost in the Shell and all of that. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it was, bro. Like it was completely different for a true, but it's the same way with state property and Roc-A-Fella too. Like, well, Roc-A-Fella, they had hits, Roc-A-Fella, period. But like when it comes to state property, on state property, you seen the videos they had, what they had like Rock the Mic and stuff like that, bro. Nobody was riding around listening to Rock the Mic. We was riding around listening to Chain Gang. We was riding around listening to, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, stuff like that, like Chain Gang, Public Enemy #1 from Sieg. Those was the joints right there that we was keeping up with. We talking '03 to '05, around that time frame. It was a lot different.
Yeah, a lot of people, like I was saying, man, they really just know the surface level shit, Twiz. And they the streets, you don't know the streets. You just know what you heard on the radio. You didn't buy
Fact-
you didn't buy any of the mixtapes, did you? Why?
Facts.
Why? Because you were too broke? No, man, it's a trick question. You don't have to buy it. It's for the streets. It's free. You know what I mean? They wanted to do this. They wanted to give out music. You know what I mean? So what excuse do you have for not listening to it? It's free. You can't say I can't afford it because they made sure it was free and didn't cost $12.99 inside of a store, or even back then, Twiz, it was more like $18.99.
Yeah, facts. And more so, it's like um the true fans of hip hop, we stayed at them. Like, I know our Philly, I can't speak for everywhere, but I know like our Philly, we always had like a lot of stands where you know they had like the CDs and all that,
I'm
everything.
gonna ask you about that, Twizz. I'm actually gonna ask you about that in a
Okay.
second. But so also, earlier I said ask NBA YoungBoy fans. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Ask the NBA YoungBoy fans. One
Um,
second. I'm just gonna put you on mute real quick because I'm getting a little reception from your end. So 1 second. What's my play? Ask NBA Boys fans and today's youth. Do they know about the G Unit beef? They don't know about that. They don't know that Styles P was dissing 50 Cent. They don't know that Sheik Luch, a member of D Block, had a whole album dissing 50 Cent. You didn't know that, but I did. I was bumping that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know that, but that's exactly Styles P's point. You're not a diehard D Block fan. You just know shit like Mighty Mighty D Block. You just know the joint with Eminem, which is the difference. And Styles P can tell the difference between a hardcore fan and a fan that only knows If You Think I'm Jiggy and Money, Power, Respect. That's what he's talking about. Where's his credit for all of the free music? Twizz, were you in tune with those all the 50 Cent and G Unit back and forth shit that maybe the everyday fan isn't in tune with?
of course, bro. That's my era. That's what we did, bro. Like if we gonna talk about 50 in the Lox, we must say that the Lox are the only people that defeated 50 on the back. 50 ain't want no smoke with the Lox, bro. 50 had to take the corporate approach with them, bro. They smoked 50, bro. Who but then you listen and you see that 50 with 50 do the Ja Rule, with 50 do the Rick Ross. If even though Rick Ross is still successful, he didn't end his career like Ja Rule, but to this day he still get called out for being a CEO. You know what I mean? That was all because of 50. But he couldn't do that with the Lox. He had to go a whole different angle where he was like pushing the albums back, and he was doing the entrepreneurial way with them, but he couldn't play with them on track, bro. I was just saying, like you hear Yayo, shout out to Yayo, man. Yayo is a solid guy.
Tony Yayo.
Yeah, he's solid, man, and he's low to 50. But when the Lox was wrecking them, bro, I mean, they was all quiet as the church mouse, like nothing at that. I didn't hear none of them had nothing to say when the Lox was trashing 50. You know what I mean?
Well, they did make I Run New York.
Yeah, but that ain't stick. Yeah, I mean it wasn't disrespectful enough. You know what I mean? You got to get they was getting disrespectful.
He said Styles Chic is going triple plastic. Yayo Banks and Buck is going double platinum. So Styles P said we was outside before y'all was talking about being outside.
Hmm.
Before that was even a thought or being a slang term.
That's
We
a
invented no security. First and foremost, before I let SV Twizz go off on this, I would just want to say for everyone tuning in right now, we got 160 people tuned in, man. Do you know who invented the term "we outside"? Of course you don't. So I'm going to tell you who. The Big Ape. Who's the Big Ape? Can somebody tell me who the Big Ape is? Hold up. I'll wait in the chat. I'm going to wait for y'all in the chat. Somebody tell me who the Big Ape is in the chat. We got to get to Twizz's thoughts, so I'm just going to tell y'all. Free Casanova 2 times. Free that man. And do me a favor. Everyone screaming, "We outside." You're jacking his lingo. Whether you know it or you don't, you're jacking his lingo. So let's be clear. Everyone, tilt your hat to Casanova 2 times, a real one. Free the Big Ape. That wasn't in no way, shape, or form Styles P taking a shot at Casanova, but he's saying all y'all youngins running around saying it don't even know that we had a project called No Security. So before Cass was saying we outside, they were screaming no security. They had an album called No Security. Twizz, do you want to touch on that? What Styles P said? He said we was outside before y'all was talking about being outside, before that was even a thought of being a slang term.
I mean, a lot of rappers was outside, you know, just
They didn't
especially,
glorify it though, is what I think he's saying at first, or something like that. You know what I mean? It was the obvious. It's like we're outside. We don't have
yeah.
a cool ass term for it. Eventually, they would come up with no security, which I think we both remember was the D
I,
Block album.
I have to say, I gotta give the Lox credit because the Lox rap with Big, bro. They was signed with Bad Boy. I'm talking about like, and throughout that whole time, they was reachable. They always had they gas station and all that. You could always catch them out Yonkers. You know what I'm talking about. So they was definitely always outside. But you know, it's just the slogan, man. You know what I mean? We outside, no security. It's different slogans. And everybody had their own little slogans, man. You know what I mean? So one thing for sure, two things for certain. When it come to rap, the Lox always was reachable. They was never like just rapping that G stuff and you won't catch them in the hood. You catching them in the hood all the time, bro. So no matter at the height of their career, whatever level they was at, they was outside, and they never had no security guards.
Styles P said, we invented giving y'all mixtapes. There is no mixtape game without us. Have they ever given us that credit? No. Have we ever asked for it? We're here today. Who invented it? We did. Is it a debate? Styles P asked. And I'm just going to say, yeah, it is a debate because Twizz and myself, we just turned it into one. Why? Because we felt like it. It's a good conversation to have, it's a good topic to have, and we want to talk about it. If you haven't voted in the poll, vote in the poll right now. Who invented mixtapes? Take a vote. You have several options. Now, some would argue that Math Hoffa was about to argue and bring up G Unit, and some of the others that could be brought up are
No,
Dipset as well
no,
as D Block.
it de-
Um,
it de- definitely wasn't. I can't give G Unit credit for inventing mixtapes, bro.
okay, talk about it, Twizz. This is your time to talk about it because I already said my piece.
Before before Dipset and all that, Desert Storm was the first mixtape I ever heard. Desert Storm with Paul Kane, Fab, and all of them, bro. That was the first mixtape I ever heard. This was before 50 was out. We can't talk G Unit when we ain't going to trip about them Desert Storm mixtapes, bro. It was never a certain rap group that put out a mixtape. The DJs was putting mixtapes out. That's what they was doing. So whoever did it before DJ Clue, then we would have to probably get them that because I wasn't, you talk to an old head that was really around for the 80s and all that, they might say it was somebody else. But like for my era, DJ Clue, bro, was the first one. Paul King, Fab, all of them guys was on DJ Clue joints. You know what I'm talking about? So, but when it come to mixtapes from that earlier era, it's like, yeah, we love to hear the Lox because with the Lox you had Mace and all of them on them Jones back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the first one that I ever heard, the first mixtape I ever heard, it was DJ Clue, Desert Storm. You hear that echo at the beginning. You know it's about to be something crazy. You know that get dropped on that joint.
Yeah. And I could just tell Twizz that, Math was about to bring up some comparisons. He's like, but wait, but Styles P did not let him go there. At one point, Styles P stood up. He was joking around, but he was dead serious because he knew what Math was about to do. It's like, wait for what? Wait for you to say G Unit? Wait for you to say Dipset? Because those are the only two groups that you really could say. Those are the only two groups that you could say that when you went to Diallo on Canal Street and you only had $5, and guys, that's Diallo with two L's. For those of you who knew, you know, you know. And if you only had $5 and you had to choose because you don't have 15 and you wanted all three of them anyways, right? But you couldn't get all three of them. You couldn't get all three. And Twizz, listen to this because I'm going to pose this question to you as well. But you couldn't get all three of them because Diallo isn't doing any deals. But what is there to choose from? What's on the table? What do you mean? You got D Block, Dipset, and G Unit. That's what's on the table. I don't have anything else. This is what's flooding the actual street. You see what's on the blanket? The blanket is on the curb, it's on the concrete, it's literally on the street. This is what's on the street. If you step too far to the left, you will actually step on it and break it. It wasn't even on tables, it was on blankets. It's on the street, literally. Those are your three choices. Which one are you getting? You have $5 on you. You're getting the Dipset mixtape, the D Block mixtape, or the G Unit mixtape. So, no disrespect to Styles P, but it is debatable because everyone has their own preference. I might be tired of the hardcore shit this week. I might want something a little more oh boyish, something more hey maish. I might be tired of that. I might want some Queens vibes today. How about I get some Queens vibes? I might want that new Lloyd Banks. No, not that hunger for more Lloyd Banks. I'm talking about when Lloyd Banks was fire. I'm talking about that victory freestyle Lloyd Banks. I'm talking about that era. I'm talking about when Cutmaster C was the shit. Who's that? Right. Exactly. You don't know. I don't expect you to. It's okay. But you know DJ Clue, right? Exactly. Let me ask you, do you remember a guy by the name of DJ Big Mike? And salute to my co-host SV Twizz drinking on the Hennessy tonight. If you don't know DJ Big Mike, then you wasn't buying mixtapes. I'm sorry, but you wasn't on the mixtape game like that. Remember a dude by the name of Cool Kid? Cool with a K. Not Who Kid. I said Cool Kid. You don't know him? This is exactly what Styles P is talking about. The newer generation doesn't know this stuff, and it's okay. It's okay that you don't, which is the same reason why Styles P said 21 Savage doesn't know Nas has Ether. And Styles P said, I like 21 Savage, but Drake should have told him, you're out of pocket. Y'all youngins have to learn to respect the OGs. Otherwise, you're going to end up playing yourself like 21 Savage did. Everybody in here, hit that like button, share this video one time. So, Twizz, first I want to ask you, before we get into the G Unit Dipset D Block question, I want to ask you, Twizz, what spot in Philly was like Canal Street? What was the mixtape scene like in Philly? And what mixtapes were on the blanket in Philly? Do you remember? Like, did Philly have the big mixtape thing
Yeah,
going?
Germantown and West Philly. Germantown and West Philly, they had a million stands out there. Like Germantown, Shelton Ave, it was stand for like literally you do one joint, a stand, you do a couple steps, you go out West 52nd Street, bro. Like so Germantown and West Philly, they was the holy grails of whether you want a mixtape, a DVD, a fake Rolex, fake Movados, oil, whatever you want, a Skelly, you get whatever you want out there. You know what I mean? But I don't know how West is right. All that stuff is over with now though. But at that time, yeah, that was that. So
Yo,
West Philly and Germantown.
Twizz, we just got a super chat question for you from my guy Lone Wolf TV. Salute to my
Oh,
brother. He said, "Who was the first Philly mixtape rapper?" Twizz.
the first Philly mixtape rapper, to my knowledge, it gotta be like out of Philly Most Wanted of major figures around that time, like when Cosmic Kev and all that was when Beans was rapping with major figures and all that. You remember when Cosmic Kev still had what's his name? It was Cosmic Kev and damn, why can't I think of bro? Cosmic Kev used to have somebody else in the studio with him, which I don't know why it's not coming to me right now, but they had them crazy mixtapes like the joint you heard y'all might have heard with like when Beans would be freestyling with major figures and all of that. Yeah, that was around that time, you know what I mean? So Yeah, I would say the DJ Cosmic Cav joints, bro. Those mixtapes early with Philly Most Wanted and all of them.
So, Twizz, if you had $5 and you could only buy one, and they
Hmm.
had a Dipset mixtape, a D Block mixtape, and a G Unit mixtape, at this point in your life, the music you liked and listening to,
Hmm.
which one would you have copped?
D Block, no second thinking. D Block.
And I was going to say, to make it a little bit more interesting, let's say they have the State Property mixtape on the blanket as well.
Oh man. Now that's a tough one right there. Damn. State Prop and the Locks, bro. I don't know. I mean, oh man, that's crazy right there. I probably would go with damn. I probably go with State Prop. I might be a little biased, but I would have to go back and get that Locks joint. I would probably get it and just be wondering what was on that Locks joint, bro. Like,
So I'm looking at the poll right now, Twizz. It
mhm.
was who invented mixtapes, and overwhelming 62% for D Block,
Okay.
followed by 26% for G Unit, and then 12% for Dipset.
Okay, yeah. If we talking about it, yeah, if we talking about I guess a rap group, I was just saying like mixtapes in general, like through the DJs. The first joint I ever heard was, I heard DJ Clue before any of those rappers, specifically had their own mixtapes. Because them rappers, they wasn't dropping mixtapes without the DJ anyway. I remember DJs, you had people like the Locks used to be doing joints with somebody named Cold Cheese, which we don't hear about no more. And I had actually met him before because he used to cut out Philly and all of that. And yeah, I remember like the Locks definitely had a lot of mixtapes. So I would put them as far as a rap group. Yeah, definitely heard them Jones before.
Styles P said, "Who invented a lane for these dudes to get millions of dollars? Layups. Who did that off mixtapes? And you know why we did it. Do you remember? We was banned. We was blackballed. Said, let the locks go. We did stupid shit. You know how we stayed alive? We rhymed."
They did it first, and I love the Locks, but I'm gonna keep it always stacked, bro. We talking if we gonna talk about I don't know what year frame Panero was talking about. Shout out to Styles, man, because they just in my top five period, bro. The Locks. But one person that changed the mixtape game, bro, in early 2000s, and he don't got nothing to do with the topic, but we ain't going to trap. We ain't going to trip because he changed the narrative for a lot of things, bro. When this guy came out, the world changed, hip hop changed, and this guy's Jeezy, bro. When Jeezy came out and them Jeezy mixtapes dropped, bro, nobody was like the average hip hop head wasn't checking for nobody, bro, besides Jeezy, bro. When Jeezy dropped it, he took the mixtape game over. He was the one where it was like, damn, this dude getting money. Like the Locks, they was always to the streets. Nobody ever looked at the Locks like they was billionaire guys. But when Jeezy came, I guess from him being around Meech and all of that, it like when Jeezy came, bro, it was over. Like I feel like he was one of the most, if not maybe the most impactful guy for the mixtape era period, bro. Seriously, Jeezy changed it. To this day, we still say trapping because of Jeezy. It's nothing that nobody will say from the Locks era that really still stand to today.
You know, Twizz, Styles P said it right there. He said, "We did stupid shit." He They did a lot of stupid shit talking on the radio. I wanted to ask you, man, Twizz, do you remember the legendary time that Gilly the Kid went on the radio station and aired the shit out of Beanie Sigel? Can you tell
Yeah,
me about that? I believe he said
yeah,
something along the lines of calling him a chump. You know, he said, "Do you remember
Yeah,
that when he called him a champ and then backtracked and called him a
yeah,
chump?" Was that what it was?
yeah. That's what it was. That's why I ain't gonna say too much because I know Gilly, your brother, and all that. But that
Oh,
was before the South Street incident, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It got serious with that. You know what I mean? Gil always had the heart of a lion. We ain't going to trip, but it was an issue because basically C was rapping with major figures on them mixtapes that I was telling you about. The Cosmic Cab joints, you know what I mean? And eventually he got signed to Jay-Z and all of that. And it was a lot of behind the scenes things that was going on. So I remember that, and that's why to this day Cosmic Calf don't play no type of diss tracks from artists from the city of Philly because that was a big joint right there, man. It got real nasty, and yeah, I remember that. You know what I mean?
Twizz, I wanted to ask you, man, why do you feel the people gave D Block another chance, even though they did the shiny suits? You know, people were open to giving them another shot. They didn't just look at them like they sold out. You know, when Murder Mace converted to MA$E, when he went back, it didn't really work for him. Why do you think it worked for D Block?
The shiny shoots when they was doing it, it was a wave. After they did it, we still saw people like Missy Elliott busting out with shiny suits. This was after they was done with them. So at that time they was fire. You know what I mean? It's just that from the 90s to the early 2000s, we respect somebody pen, bro. If your pen is there, it get respected. It's like Fabulous. He's a consistent spitter. He's going to always get that respect. The Locks, they was too nice. The thing with Mace is that Mace jumped out his element where he became a priest and all of that, and then he came back with the welcome back. The welcome back is a lot different than hearing Mace saying we had $1,000 bills when they was Teddy Roosevelt. You know what I mean? That was a different Mace that we got when we had the welcome back and all of that. Even though he had a few commercialized drinks before he left, like the Rugrats soundtrack and all that. But at that time, he still was getting love because he was fresh off of Harlem World. But yeah, I think he jumped out of his element too much, and that's what threw Mace off.
Facts, man. And you know, one of the things I see, they said they rhymed, and Mathod was like, yeah, they rhymed through it. That was one of the things that people always say about them. You know, Sheik gets praised for releasing several albums. You know what I mean? When
Mhm.
other people were stagnant and complained about not being able to release albums, Sheik Luch has released quite a few. Jadakiss has arguably gotten better over the years, which many artists do not do. And Styles P, as I've listed many of his projects, you know what I mean? Styles P has just put out so many classics, man.
Yeah, like and when it come to Locks and when it come to like Kiss didn't get better. He was always that. It's just that I feel like he got a different light shed on him after the verses because you had people that wasn't an everyday Locks fan that was like, damn, they was making it like a big deal. Like, damn, did you see what Kiss did? But damn it, not to discredit Styles as Sheik, but like a lot of people said, Kiss basically smoked Dipset by himself for giving that extra spunk, the extra freestyles and things of that nature. So it made the world really focus on Kiss. But they was always that. They just never got the proper promotion. And I think that's because they was too real. But they got a love for what they do. They not in it trying to get the biggest bucks. You don't hear Kiss or Styles singing on the track because singing is the wave now. Harmonizing, whatever you want to call it. They gonna stay true to their fans, man,
Yeah.
and to what they really do.
You know, I just want to say this, and Twiz, you can go off about it when I'm done if you'd like to retort. But I just want to say, you know, the reason that D Block dropped so many mixtapes is because they were being held hostage. You know, it was like I don't want to do no more shiny suit music. I don't want to do anymore. If you think I'm jiggy, so let's have the whole hood wearing Let the Locks Go t-shirts. Now, Diddy, now he's going to feel like a dumbass. Now, Diddy is going to feel like the dumbass in this situation. Oh, wait, we can't release any more music because we're under contract? Well, we found a workaround. We're going to give people the music for free in the form of mixtapes. Therefore, you don't get $1 off of us, Diddy. We're giving it away for free because we don't want to release no more soft shit. We want to release what we're going to do, and we're going to give it to our fans for free, and you can't sue us. So F your contract, basically. And everywhere you go, you're going to run into somebody that's going to say, damn, Diddy, let the locks go. And you're going to feel like a dumbass because their music is flooded all over the streets, anyways. And you're just holding them back. So everywhere you go, you're going to hear people say, let the locks go. You're going to get tired of that, which eventually he did. Somebody fill in this bar for me. Jadakiss once said, when you see me, don't ask nothing about us. And definitely don't ask nothing about, fill it in, y'all. Jadakiss once said in a lyric, he once said it, don't ask nothing about us, and definitely don't ask me nothing about
Puff. I owe you one, you owe me two. I smacked you with the burner, but I know you slew. And I ain't talking to him, I'm talking to you. Matter of fact, talking to y'all. Life is like walking the yard. Yeah, that's that joint right there.
So Styles P said another thing that we're about to get into, Twizz. Unless you want to speak about any of that, man, as far as
No.
Lox going from releasing all that classic music with Puff to
Mhm.
then, getting to where they are now, unless you wanted to address that.
No, you hit it on the nose right there. They found the ollie, but at that time, I also think that 50. I mean that Puff, regardless of everything, I never heard Puff disrespecting the locks. Um, publicly speaking on the interview about how they felt. I feel as though that Puff still had love for the locks. Um, it just it's different when you got levels of business and things of that nature. But we know how they got out that deal. You know what I mean? And they pretty much forced their way out the deal. But it worked out for them to get out the deal. But even after getting out of it, it still was, a major mission for them to try to get successful and light shed on them. That's why Kiss always said, well, that's why he said on the track, it's like dead rappers get better promotion because as great as they were, they should have been getting the attention that Biggie was getting, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like Biggie was that guy, but for some reason they never got that level of success or attention on their upbringing. But that's all I really got to say about that.
So let me see here. Moving on to the next part of this. Styles P said, this is a very interesting one, which I have a poll up right now. I want everybody to vote in the poll. The poll right now is Styles P claims we invented white tees. Is he right? Yes, no, or nah? Cash Money started that wave. So Twizz, Styles P said they never gave us our credit. Who was wearing white tees before us? Who? Who invented white tees in hip hop? The fellas, the boys. What event are we showing up? F security. All right, so the white tees, man. Quiz, you want to comment on the white tees?
I don't know. I don't know who started them. I just know in my era we did that. Like, you know what I mean? I guess it depends. Like, Styles and them, they from a different era. I can't really pinpoint on who started it, but I know like definitely out Philly or everywhere, like the t-shirts was heavy. It was the white tees, but then we gotta talk about the black tees too. You know what I mean? We gotta talk about the free size tees when people was wearing t-shirts that came to their knees. So, you know, it is what it is. It's like how Philly and I want to say DC or Baltimore, they go back and forth about who was wearing New Balances first. You know what I mean? So it just depends.
Well, everyone's going to have their own opinion about this, and I want everyone to chime in with it. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, though, Styles P, I'm going to have to give this to Cash Money. We all know Cash Money started first. They had the white knees down to their kneecaps.
What year was that?
I'm just so obviously we're talking all the way back, man. The Cash Money was since like the early 90s, man. But they
Yeah,
really started getting famous in like 96, 97.
yeah. I mean that
What year was it for you in Philly? I'm more interested in.
definitely don't remember wearing them like in the 90s. I'm gonna keep it a stack, but I know like definitely anywhere from like 2000 on up. I know for a fact people was wearing t-shirts. I know like in the 90s and all that, people was heavy like wearing the low shirts and all that, the polo shirts,
Yeah,
Perry Ellis and Nautica and all that was jumping heavy in the 90s out Philly, like yeah, I mean, but
because
I don't remember seeing, too many t-shirts like around like 95 or nothing like that. But I was also a kid. I was born in 87, so
well, this is why it's a debate. I mean, you had BG
yeah,
popping off since like 96,
yeah.
97, but then you got to remember like Styles P goes back a long way as well. Just because Jadakiss's first album dropped in '01 and Styles' first album dropped in '02, solo albums, that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that's the first time they were really on the scene.
Yeah, and especially like when we talk about let's talk about New York hip hop in the 90s. Now, when we talk about New York hip hop in the 90s and we talk about Cash Money, they was down south guys. Like down south guys, no disrespect if anybody is from down south in the chat. But if you listening, you know it's the truth, whether you from down south or west coast, back in like the early 90s and all of that, they wasn't like they was dressing to how their hood dressed. Like they might wear like t-shirts or like they was wearing the Dickie suits and all of that. I give Cash Money the Dickie suit wave. We can give them the t-shirts and all of that. And also West Coast was wearing like Dickies and Chucks and things of that nature. But when it come to like New York and all of that, bro, I'm talking about like that's where like they had Dapper Dan and all of that. So them guys out New York, they was getting fly. New York been doing like the Gucci and Versace and all that before anybody in the world was doing it. It's not like how it is now out Cali where people can go out Rodeo Drive and all of that, get that. It wasn't like that back then. Back then, you had to come to East Coast, bro, to New York to get any of that gear. Oh, that's 050 the movement. Salute, man.
Major
Salute
respect.
the China Bremen and Harlem Legend, man. We definitely tuned in, man.
Major respect to them tapping into the video tonight as well. It's always love. Yep. Yep. The people is fucking with you, Twizz. Dickies and
Yeah,
Chuck, he knows. But
yeah.
yeah, we just been on our debate. It's not that we're not focusing on the chat. We're just kind of having this debate tonight about what Styles P said on multiple different levels when it comes to the fashion, when it comes to the music, released and
Facts,
mixtape released.
facts. But one thing for sure, definitely with Cash Money all them out, they was still balling in them Dickie suits and all of that. They still was pushing ranges and getting the money. It's just that like New York was different. Like New York, they how the whole road is. you gotta tilt your hat to New York for all of that. As far as like Gucci and the Louis and and that New York just was different. Like
Yeah. Yeah, and like I was saying a little bit earlier that, a lot of the artists from New York were kind of like just a little bit biased to their own situation. You know
hmm
what I mean? Kind of, I was putting it in terms of being more focused on their own situation and blowing up before they worried so much about outside states.
hmm
If you could blow up in New York, if you can blow up in Philly to Boston to New Jersey, you can actually get an opportunity. You know what I mean? You can actually get an opportunity to be heard in, California, Florida, wherever.
facts, facts.
So the Lox went crazy on mixtape, Mr. White said.
Yeah, the Locks did go crazy on mixtapes. Yeah, I mean they fire.
That's
You
how a
know,
lot of people feel, Twizz, that their mixtape game is really more prominent than actually their actual releases, their store releases.
no, actually their albums are legendary. Gangsta and the Gentleman, legendary. Kiss of Death, legendary. We Are the Streets. We Are the Streets, bro. Like We Are the Streets is legendary. We Are the Streets is probably not We Are Still the Streets. I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't too tapped into We Are Still the Streets. But We Are the Streets. Oh my goodness, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, as far as a group album, I can't name one group real album that was released that was better than We Are the Streets, bro. And that go for anything that G Unit dropped, any of that, bro. Like We Are the Streets was a problem. Let's not forget about Money, Power, Respect. Bro, they telling stories on these Jones. The John when they talk about the females that's setting them up and all of that. Oh my goodness. It was crazy, bro. Like,
Well, Legendary has a question, or not a question, just a comment. I
okay.
want to know, what do you think, Twizz, when people say that the G Unit mixtapes are better than the D Block Locks mixtape?
I guess it just go to preference. I mean, I guess it just go to preference. Uh the majority people is gonna say G Unit. Bro, fifth, like nobody in G Unit is hotter than 50. What we gonna say? Banks is probably right under him, bro. Are you like, I mean, like, we talking about the Locks, bro. The Locks.
Yep, it's all
It's not really no groups. It's hard to have a group that can, walk in their shoes, bro. Like the Locks. I mean, I guess it depends on what type of guy you is. But if we talking about G Unit, it's not like G Unit is rapping like Dipset. They talk their street stuff, but the if that's the case, why do you think nobody in G Unit could really have no real smoke for the Locks when they was wrecking when they put 50 in the corner and made him curl up and all of that? Like it was nothing that nobody could do. Like, the Locks is different.
well. Would you say that G Unit has better mixtapes than actual albums?
Yeah, I would say as a group they do.
Okay, all right. So you
Yeah,
say
as a
that's
group,
not
I,
the
I
fact
like their
about D Block.
mixtapes better.
Okay. Yep. That's an interesting perspective right there. Yeah. A lot of people just say that about, certain hooks that they all did. If they would have just released that on actual songs, it could have actually got them more radio play.
Yeah, well, to me, Get Rich or Die Trying, 50, that joint was like
But I'm
that.
talking about Beg for Mercy. I'm talking about TOS. I'm talking about The Beauty. I'm talking about The Beast compared to like the G Unit mixtapes.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to G Unit mixtapes more than I was tuned into the actual. You know what I mean? Like the mixtapes was heavy because I know 50 period before any of that from the mixtape era. So mixtapes back then was 9 times out of 10 better than the damn albums. It's like damn, like the mixtapes was important back then. But me personally, yeah, I love them G Unit mixtapes, bro. Like them Jones hit different. And shout out to G Unit too, man. Yeah, I mean, no shade is thrown at him, but we talking about the Lox. We talking about somebody that was. Listen, bro. Listen, we gonna keep it as that. The Lox was smoking stuff next to Big. Who do you think in G Unit would have smoked anything with Big, bro? Like, I'm sorry, none of them guys would have been able to. They wouldn't even make sense on the track with Biggie, bro.
I thought
I'm
about that
sorry.
before. I've thought about
50,
that before.
yeah, like with the exception of 50 at the end of the day, but you know,
Hmm. It's a very interesting point you put out right there. What about the fact that guys like Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, the game have actually outsold the Lox members?
that's all because of the machines behind you. The same way Cardi B, you might can try to add up Cardi B to maybe something Lil Kim, so that don't mean she's better than Little Kim. I mean, you know, with the when you're dealing with the machines and all of that, it's just different. You can't go off album sales like you know somebody like Soldier Boy might have sold more than Kiss. You mean to tell me that Soldier Boy is anywhere better than Kiss? Hell no. That's just how you know. I don't never go off of like album sales and all of that.
Man, and that's a big fact that you're saying. How can you really go by album sales when Lloyd Banks' first album sells 400,000 first week and his second album sells 150,000 first week?
Facts,
No.
facts. It's just different, and that's why Styles was saying what he was saying on Math Hoffa John. It's like you know, it's just different, you know. And I think a lot of people they judge. You can't judge stats off of everything. That's like how people compare LeBron and Jordan. LeBron is great, you know, but he also superhuman. It's like, damn, he's super tall. Like Jordan was that guy. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Um, Let me ask you, Twizz, Lloyd Banks or Styles P?
Styles P. Banks ain't Banks never. Banks. I never heard nothing at Banks that it was like it just hit you in your heart. Banks is just hot. Like Banks is a good rapper. It's like Cassidy is a great rapper, but it's like do it hit you different? Like you know, Styles, it's like damn, bro. Like you know, you might listen. You listen to Styles music, it'll put you on like a emotional roller coaster. It's like damn, bro. Like certain like Banks ain't got no my brother. You know, Banks like you know, it's just certain songs that how Styles carried on them Jones. It's like and Banks, I feel like Banks is I like Banks damn near over the whole G unit lyrically, but not when it comes. This no, no, not with Styles.
Some people are, my guy saying it's a tie. Some people are saying it's no comparison. But do you think it made any difference in the way that Lloyd Banks laid out his albums in the similar fashion? Like the first album had On Fire, and then the second album had Hands Up, which were kind of like the same type of single.
It don't matter because Styles is not the biggest successful artist,
Yeah,
but
he's not
it's
gonna have a big single like that.
yeah, it's like but Styles' body of work is just like when you listen to Styles, it hits you different than Panero. Like it's a lot different.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just like
like
it.
even
It don't
even
click.
even when we're talking about Get High and we're talking about Roll Something, you know what I mean? Those singles are actually different. They're not even though they're both about smoking weed, that song that's like roll something up so I just can't
I
blow.
mean, I don't judge them off of their commercial stuff because the commercial stuff is put out there for the world to be able to accept it and things of that nature. I look at their overall body of work. You sit down, and listen to a mixtape with Styles, and you listen to a mixtape with Banks, and I'm talking about song for song for song. Banks give you the same feeling on every song, bro. Like
Hmm.
you know, like Banks give you the damn same feeling. Styles joint, bro, he's gonna take you here, he gonna take you there. he going, you know, he got this joint where a lot of people probably heard. It might have been by Green Lantern, and it was like it's called Pretty Little Thing. And when he do it, the song is like you would think that he rapping about a female, but he rap about like three things, and one of them is a gun. The next one is his microphone, and I forgot what the other one was. But you gotta listen. It's like whoa, it's crazy. Like Banks ain't got no nobody believes me, bro. Like gangster and gentleman type stuff, you know. And I just feel like Banks is nice, but not no, he ain't. He can't walk a mile in Styles joints.
So we got another question in here. Let's debate this. Jim Jones or Tony Yayo? Tony Yayo had infamously screamed out "boring" at Jim Jones. I mean, at that point, nothing about Jim Jones was boring. I mean, you know what I mean? The guy was walking around with like 100 bands in his pocket, smoking the most exotic weed that you could pay for.
I would have to probably say Jim Jones. I think that Banks is lyrical, but Jim Jones got better. Jim Jones is out of them two. Jim Jones continued to get better. Um, Banks ain't get better. Banks just stayed the same. Like that last album and all that he dropped, it got
Jim
overlooked.
Jones or Tony Yayo, Twizz.
I mean, Yayo.
Damn,
Oh
everybody's
my, I'm
always
thinking about
comparing.
Banks. Oh yeah, definitely Jim Jones over Yayo. Shout out to
Yo,
Yayo. He a real guy, but
oh
you know,
man, don't. That's my dog right there, man. Even though
no,
he
shout out to Yayo. I,
Yale's on a new path. He ain't
you
hating
know,
on me anymore.
I like Yayo as a person. I feel like Yayo is a real guy, but Jimmy, no, Jimmy, especially even with Yayo, Jimmy continued to get better. I respect Yayo as a person and his loyalty to 50, bro, because it's hard to have a loyal brother like that, and especially somebody that played a role. You know what I mean? Especially with 50 being up here, like, but at the end of the day, Jimmy over Yayo for sure.
Well, let me just say they both had a really grind. They grinded up from the bottom as
Mhm.
nobody really knowing them musically. Yayo got his name with the G Unit group, and then he went to jail. You know what I mean? Jim Jones grinded his way up, getting the deal with Koch. You know what I mean? And actually releasing albums, getting that love from Cameron early on. But I mean, Jim Jones is my guy. Jim Jones is the guy that I've actually been in the studio with. I've actually made music with Jim Jones and Scott Storch. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
Jim Jones is my guy that I'm going with on this joint. You know what I
facts,
mean? Jones, even I was smoking a blunt with Jim Jones at Club Live, actually in one of the private VIP sections. I was,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm giving this one to Jim Jones. And obviously, a little bit earlier, I was talking about how Yayo had yelled out, boring. Why do you think Yayo was really trying to like instigate the beef with Jim Jones? Was it because 50 and Cam were doing their little back and forth?
I also, but no, 50 was going in on Jimmy too. You know what I mean? 50 went in on Jimmy. The last time I heard 50 going on Jim was when them guys had rushed him and all of that, and it's like, and Jimmy was running. He ain't want no smoke. So, but at the end of the day, like I said, Yayo to me, Yayo is like not to discredit Jim, but I just feel like Yayo is realer, a realer individual. But when it comes to music, I have to give it to Jimmy because Jimmy started off as a hype man. He wasn't no rapper from Dipset. He was just always there. He was always there as a supporter. And right now, he's more relevant rapping than the whole Dipset,
Lobby
including Cam.
boys. Lobby boys.
Yeah, exactly. All the young guys, he can keep up with the young guys and all of that. So, I feel like Jimmy being the age that he is, it's a lot. You know what I mean? It takes a lot and a different type of hustle to even remain relevancy. Like you talk to any of these young guys, they're not gonna pick Yayo over Jim no day. You know what I mean? Like, cause Jim is relevant right now still.
Yeah, no, I got to agree with you on that level as well, Twizz. I definitely got to agree with you. And it's just funny. It's just so funny because 10 Toes Down invited Hassan Campbell to a Lobby Boys party.
Shout out to Tent. Shout out to Chef, man.
I want y'all to hit the link. I'm about to post that. If y'all missed it, go check that shit out because 10 Toes Down actually invited Hassan Campbell to a Lobby Boys. He invited him to a Lobby Boys party. Did
Yeah,
Hassan take him up on that offer? Hit the link that I got pinned up, and you'll see you'll see if Hassan went and partied it up with Jim Jones and Mano.
yeah. Tim be in his bag, man. Shout out to Tim, man.
Shout out to my guy right there. We had got another joint, man. Joel Santana or Sheik Luch, man. Who do you got in that, Twizz, and why?
Damn, Jewels or Sheik. That's a good joint right there. Oh man, I give it to Jewels, bro.
All right, that's what's up. You're giving it to Joel. So we're gonna take it right back because actually we got a little, I guess, tournament bracket going here because Joel's has been asked in another question. Joel Santana or the game?
Oh, Jewels, man.
I'm taking the game over Jewels. No disrespect. I mean, Jewels has showed me love. You know, he's liked some of my flicks and shit like that, which I mean, it shows me. I actually been to Joel Santana shows back in the day and shit like that in Jersey, New Jersey Pack and all that. But I got to give it to the game because of the fact that he kept on putting out music, just to be real.
Jewels is, Jewels. I'll give Jewels a longer run than Game. Only thing that slowed Jewels down was him sitting having to do that bid. But Jewels was more of a star than I mean, I ain't gonna say more of a, but Jewels was that guy, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was.
To me, like the game, I had love for the game during that 50 collab. Anything outside of that, I wasn't really tuned into the game, bro. But Jewels, bro, he brought a whole different energy to Dipset. Like he made Dipset, like he put the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? When it come to Dipset.
You gave the game One Blood though, right? Like his first post G Unit released One Blood. You were cool with that, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. All right, cool. I just wanted to get that. Joel's is an icon.
Yeah,
See. But yeah, anybody else
yeah.
have, if anybody else has any open questions, you guys can all send in open questions right now, man.
Salute to the chat too, man. I can't see y'all, but I know y'all in here. Much love and respect, man, to everybody. This just the hip hop politics. Y'all already know how we carry it, man. So hopefully nobody is in their feelings or nothing. But this just this just the hip hop heads right here. We all entitled to our own opinions.
Twizz, what have you been up to lately, bro? Let everybody know, man. I appreciate you tapping in on the channel tonight for sure, man. But what
Man,
you been having going on lately, man?
man, I appreciate you having me. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I just been, putting the bread on the table, if that makes sense, man. Family first and foremost. Definitely a family man. But other than that, I was actually live earlier, and
You were speaking on something Styles P related?
yeah, I was. What I was speaking on was Styles basically said that if he would have saw Jay-Z or Beans, that he would have shot him, at that time.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
that's what
mean?
the headline was. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
and it just was deep to me because I'm not gonna get into everything too much and drag the stream out,
No,
but it
but
was.
let them know where they can go and view that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is our time to shine, bro.
I appreciate you. Definitely check me out on the Hub Blogger, man. First and foremost, I got interviews with, you know, rappers out the city of Philly, and I got interviews with other people also, man. Actors. You know, I got an
Twizz
interview.
has vodka in his movie.
Yeah, definitely. I got Vok in the movie. Check it out. Just sub to the Hood Blogger, man. Y'all gonna see it. The film is out. It's called Torn Apart.
Yep.
I got Vok in it, my brother, man, and you know, at the end of the day, it's a story that based on real things that's going on in the hood today. Iceberg in the building, my brother. Salute, Iceberg. I see you.
Shout out to
Um,
Bella K. I see Bella K in the flick there. If anybody's wondering who is pictured with
definitely,
Quavo.
much love and respect as always. You know
Rest
how
in
we
peace to
carry it.
off as well, since we're
Yeah,
speaking on the Migos.
yeah, but you know, check the channel out, man. I got interviews with rappers from Philly. I blog the city. I
One of the
touch up
most
on
classic,
topics.
one of the most classic interviews with Oskino, I've got to say, Twizz.
I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. You know what I mean? Big shout out to O. You know what I mean? Definitely got the joint with Oskino, and just check the channel out, man. Y'all gonna see. Y'all wouldn't be disappointed, man. Check it out and scroll down, and I try to keep everything rolling on there as I can. But other than that, if y'all don't catch me on there, y'all gonna catch me with my brother Mikey T, the movie star, man. We both be working and grinding, so we catch up when we can, but you know, that's just how we carry it, man. It's the hip hop panel. Check
So
me out on the gram too, underscore Twizz 215. I
S
got it.
underscore SV Twizz, right?
It's just underscore Twizz 215. Just
It
straight
is.
up
Yep, just like the
underscore.
TWIZZ 215 underscore. But
Yeah.
you have been working on the second movie though, Twizz. I thought I heard you saying
Yeah.
that on one of your streams.
Yeah, the second movie is in the making. And just Oskino gonna be in that one. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
Vok
that's good.
gonna be a part of that too. Um, you know, it's everything.
Hold on, who? Vodka?
Yeah, Vok gonna be back in there too.
Did you say another name or was it vodka that you said?
Yeah, it's Vodka and Oskino. They locked in. Other than that, it's just
Oh,
people
that's
from that I know from my hood and throughout the city of Philly. And we're gonna shoot that. I just want everything to be right because this one right here is I'm just trying to keep getting better and better. People showed me a lot of love for Torn Apart because of the message that was behind it and what it was based upon. But that was my first joint right there. But this one right here, I want it to be, you know, A1. You know what I mean? So I'm working on it, the camera crew and the audio crew and all of that. I want that to be perfected. But other than that, everybody is locked in right now as far as the actors and everything. So DM me underscore Twizz 215 if you want to be a part of it. If you want to, jump behind the camera, if you want to jump behind the camera or be part of the audio crew, you know what I mean, and you dedicated to it and you're gonna take it serious, you can definitely be a part of it. And you will be compensated if you're a cameraman or part of the audio crew. If you want to be an actor or an extra, then DM me. You'll be a part of it, but you definitely won't be compensated for it unless you know the movie gets sold. You know what I mean? That's the goal.
Twizz, is there a title, a working title for this yet that you've released, or are you still holding on to that?
As far as the movie that we're working on now,
Yeah.
it's not a title for it yet. I got a few in mind. Um, I'm gonna just keep rolling it and bounce off with the people that's involved in it. I'm gonna run it past them, but it's not a set title for it yet. We didn't even start shooting it yet. I got the script pretty much wrote. So if you do want to be an actor or whatever, it can always be maneuvered to cut you in. You know what I mean? Or if you just want to be an extra and have your face in the joint, hit me up. But it's not a set name for it right now.
That's what's
My
up, man.
my and my Instagram is underscore Twizz 215.
Yep, we got it right here.
Appreciate it, Iceberg.
Underscore for anybody. So I guess it really doesn't not matter where you are as long as you're not like too far away. You could be in Maryland, technically. You could be in Delaware. You could
Facts.
be in New Jersey. Connecticut. I'm only 5 hours away from Twizz realistically. So if you want to do something like this, you know what I mean? You can get in contact with Twizz if you're realistic about it. If you're wondering how realistic Twizz is about it, go check out the content on his page. Go check out his first film. And there's only one way to go from there. I believe it's up, is what you usually say, Twizz. So yeah, you're doing a lot of shit, bro, and I really I just want to commend you on it, man, and be involved with it as much as I can.
Man, I appreciate you, Mikey. You always been A1 since day one, man. You know what I mean? You've been the same brother since I met you, man. I appreciate you for keeping it solid. Yeah, I mean, and staying sturdy. I appreciate you, Lone Wolf. I see you. Yeah, I mean, but always a big salute to you, Mikey T, man, for not being Hollywood and showing love, and you shed light on a lot of people, man. So yeah, I mean, I'm always here for you, Mikey. You know how we carry it.
Let me. Oh shit. Okay, we got a question in here.
Okay.
Twizz, this one. J Hood or J.R. Ryder?
Oh, to me, I gotta give it the Hood. J.R. Ryder was that guy, bro. And it's hard for me to even just quickly pick Hood, but Hood was that guy though. Like Hood was like right under kissing them, like you know what I mean? Like he was one of the few guys, but J.R. Ryder was always special, man. He always was. It's crazy that actually got brought up because it was a guy from New York that I was in placement with at Glen Mills, and we was always arguing about it because he loved J.R. Ryder. I'm like, Hood is better than J.R., bro. You tripping?
You would actually argue about that question, J Hood and
Yeah,
J.R.
oh
Ryder?
yeah, we was arguing. It was this guy because we used to go by last names at Glen Mills. I remember him. His name was Bolton. He was a short, husky young boy, and we was always arguing. He was like, "Yo, you crazy? J.R. Ryder is way hotter than Hood." I'm like, "Yo, you crazy? Hood is that guy, bro." Yeah, that was an argument back then. We talking '05.
The argument actually makes sense. Both of them did not get to release their official debut albums on the official
Yeah.
labels. This is a question we got in here or a comment. That 50 Cent and Cameron beef was like wrestling. I couldn't take it seriously. There's something to that comment, Twizz, that beef wasn't being able to take seriously because I just really couldn't buy into it either that those two guys were actually beefing.
No, I like Cameron and Jay Z better than that. Like, I mean, Cameron and Jay Z was definitely better than that. And I know Jay Z ain't feeding into it too much, but Cameron was disrespectful in that joint when he said like the camel from off the what was that, the pack of cigarettes from back in the day or something.
He
Like
even
that
brought
joint was
Max
funny.
B into it, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It definitely was.
Yeah. But like you said, he didn't really get much response from it, which is why it kind of made it a little bit comical.
Yeah, and that's because the statue that Jay Z was looking at, and then he looking at Cam like you damn young boy, like you know what I mean. So it's like it just was different. You know what I mean?
Cam, well, yeah, man. So Twizz, man, it's been a dope podcast tonight, man.
Definitely.
I can't wait to have you on for the next episode, for the next debate. I heard a couple ideas. I mean, you got a couple ideas in my mind about what we're going to be debating next time. But I want everybody watching this video to go and follow me on Instagram. It's in the description. Everybody that follows me right now, based on this video, I will follow you back. And we've got Twizz's information right here as well. It's underscore Twizz, TWIZZ 215. And that's on Instagram. You can pretty easily contact Twizz by the DM. You know what I mean? He'll respond to you, especially if you're looking for any of these categories. If you're an actor, videographer, you know what I'm saying? If you're doing anything along those lines and want to get involved with Twizz on the movie end. But Twizz also does dope hip hop content, as you've probably recognized watching him as my co-host tonight.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you, Mike. You know how we carry it, man. Yeah, I mean, we get it done, man, and we talk to the streets, man. When we talk about this hip hop stuff, and we have great convos, man. So, future references or whatever. If y'all hear us, y'all might hear me be like, Kiss better than this guy or this and that. It's all love at the end of the day, man. Don't take it personal, man. Everybody got they own. Some people like the Bulls, some people like the Lakers. You know what I mean? That's just how it go. But we all just on here to enjoy ourselves, man. And much love and respect to everybody always, man.
Yep. Make sure if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe right now so you never miss one of our live videos. Hit that
Absolutely.
notification bell so you catch us on the next live video, man. Twizz, I appreciate you. You're watching Mikey T, the movie star, and SV Twizz, and we are out of here.
Yes, sir. That's how we carry it.